Hi, everyone. My name is Larry Mason, and I'm a first year doctoral student at the Georgia State University School of Public Health, and I'm a graduate research assistant in the Center on Health and Homelessness. Today, I'll be presenting on a community-based approach to enumerate families who are staying in extended stay hotels in DeKalb County, Georgia. Now, where does this come from? So in 2024, 585,000 people were identified to be experiencing homelessness based on United States point in time counts. Now, point in time counts include individuals living on the street and staying in shelters. So individuals who are living in hotels, who are staying with multiple family units in one household or couch surfing are not included in that count. So if they're living in inadequate housing, they're not being allocated resources because they're not being counted. So there's also two federal definitions that create a large and critical resource gap. So the United States Department of Education's McKinney-Vento Act identifies children who lack a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence to be homeless, and that does include hotels. Whereas the Department of Housing and Urban Development identifies individuals without a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence to actually be primarily shelters, cars, outdoors, or even fleeing domestic violence. So this shows us that there's a very critical gap in between these two definitions where a family could be living in the hotel and the adult may not be regarded to as homeless, but the child is. Now, McKinney-Vento Act does come with services. Those services include transportation to school, additional resources, as well as if the child were to move to a different hotel in a different county, they can still be in the school from their previous catchment area. Now, with this in mind, our study decided to utilize community-based methodology to identify and enumerate families that are living in these extended stay hotels. So, with what we did is we counted every individual. So there were 75 hotels in DeKalb County that served as extended stays. And when we narrowed it down to 50, because over 25 of those hotels did not have any families. So with those 50 hotels, we knocked on over 3,500 doors, and we asked four questions. Are you staying here with the family? How many adults are living here? How many children ages 0 to 4, and how many children between 5 and 17. And this let us know the actual enumeration of families staying in extended stay hotels in DeKalb County. We also had bilingual volunteers who were able to assist with this as well. Now, if there were any households that had a family living there, meaning a child under the age of 18, we administered them a survey. And that survey asked questions about how they got into extended stay, the barriers to getting out of extended stay, and how much they pay, as well as the services that their children are receiving. So we administered those surveys and we received 231 surveys completed. And they also had a unique survey code to limit fraud to make sure each household can only complete the survey one time, and all surveys completed received a $25 gift card. So what did we find? Overall, so this slide does contain population estimates as well as summary statistics from the surveys. So 4,600 is obviously our population estimate from our enumeration. So there's 4,600 people living in extended stay hotels. A third of that population is children between the ages of 0 to 17. And then we can kind of go into our survey data. So 35% of households were forced into extended stays due to eviction. And this is really important because there's so many other factors, but a lot of times when they get evicted, it's hard for them to find other housing. 75% of them are employed, but on average, spending 77% of their income on housing. Children, only 24.5% reported receiving McKinney-Vento services, and a lot of them lacked clothes, uniforms, or school supplies. And then we also found that families were obviously paying more for their hotel than for the average rent cost of a studio apartment in DeKalb County, as well as for a four-bedroom apartment. So, what does this mean? This means that we need further data coverage and enumeration efforts for McKinney-Vento Acts in schools so that children can receive resources. We do need to continue enumerating so we understand how many people are in this population and we can be able to provide resources for them because as of right now, there's no single resource for people who are identified as hidden homeless. And finally, this is a novel study. It's the first to be countywide to count hidden homeless people. And we really want to make sure that we can bring these efforts to other jurisdictions and regions so that this work can be replicated and we can bring more attention to this issue. With that in mind, thank you for allowing me to present today. If you have any questions, concerns, please feel free to email me and connect with us on LinkedIn. Thanks.